Father, we thank you for this day and the city in which we live. Guide us this afternoon as we make our decisions. In Christ's name, amen. This is the regular meeting of the Newnan City Council, March 10th, 2020. You have the minutes of the regular meeting of February the 25th, 2020 before y'all. Entertain a motion. We adopt.
So moved.
Second motion, second. We adopt the minutes as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. You also have before you the minutes from the retreat meeting of February the 21st, 2020. I'll entertain a motion. We adopt those minutes.
So moved.
Second. Motion second. We adopt those minutes as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. The next item today is Cultural Arts Commission appointment, and that's Mr. Kretko. He is not here, so will you put this on the next agenda, Mr. Phillips? Mr. Phillips, do you have anything today?
Yes. One thing, Mr. Mayor, you may notice, Mayor, Council, in front of you, there's a handout labeled Planning for the Coronavirus Pandemic. I just want to give you a little bit of update on some of the activities that we've been undertaking here at the council, at the city to prepare our organization. I recently appointed a task force to prepare an organizational plan. And we're actually using, or the committee is, this as the framework for that plan preparation. You'll notice that in starting with identifying plan objectives, obviously the objective is to prevent the spread of the pandemic. It goes through different items such as identifying essential services, essential personnel, in case of a breakout, excessive workplace exposure. And the one I kind of want you to pay attention to on the very back of the front page is the review of workplace policies. There's been a lot of discussion both locally and nationally. I think Congress is actually discussing today some tax pay plan because I think some of the fears is if someone is quarantined or is exposed, how do they get paid? Are they going to lose income when they have rent, mortgage, bills, etc.? So we're going to be drafting a set of policies that would only be applied in the case that we have an outbreak or we have some quarantine situations here at the city of Newnan. I think I know that both the chiefs served on that task force, and I think I heard I'll have a draft sometime this week. So we certainly will be able to get you a draft, especially as it pertains to policy, because it's very difficult for me I don't have the authority to circumvent pay policy when it comes to how do we treat someone that's out being quarantined for possibly an extended period. But that particular employee may not have a bank of sick time. They may be a new employee that hasn't banked their time. It may be an employee that had a previous illness and they ran out of time. So I don't want our employees to have the fear of losing income.
Or they may not be sick. They may be quarantined because a family member created that situation.
But anyway, this is a very detailed guideline that we're working from. I know that they worked for about 3 hours this morning, and still got a lot of work to do to try to prepare our organization. Now, I know from a public safety standpoint, we met, 3 weeks ago, start planning preparations on the public safety side. This is more of an organizational side of facility management. You may have noticed that some of the simple things as you came in today, the doors are open. We're not touching door handles and things like that. It's some small things, but just wanted to give you an update, and more importantly, that those policy things will be coming. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear them.
We appreciate your dedication to the city of Newnan and staying on top of this from a management perspective. Thank you. I know it means a lot to our employees. I don't have anything today. Under new business, street acceptance request by Billy Cranford and Dappers Landing, LLC for Dappers Landing. Smith, how are you, sir?
Fine, Mayor and Council. I think everything's been looked at, inspected by engineering department, and is in order for you to approve.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. We accept the streets as requested by Billy Cranford and Dappers Landing, LLC. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The next is consideration of the facility lease agreement between the City of Newnan and Coweta County Development Authority for office space and use of conference room at the municipal building at 23 Jefferson Street. Mr. Kramer, how are you today?
I'm well, Mayor Brady. Members of the council, I'm here before you to ask that you consider the lease located under tab E in your information packet here. Some particular areas of interest are that it's an initial 1-year term with a 1-year renewal option. The area shown above, that's kind of the hashed area, is currently the training room, conference room that this body used to meet in a long time ago. But however, the fire department uses it, and it will be on a shared use. That's why it's hashed. The other two offices above that are the two offices being contemplated in this lease agreement. That it's important to know that they're regular office hours, that the development authority is responsible for operating their program, continuing their program, as well as for the telephone, cable, and internet service. The city, of course, will be responsible for utilities, water, sewer, electricity, and reasonable repairs to be made in that. It also is interesting to note that this lease does start in April, so it gives us a little bit of time, a few weeks to kind of move some of our items out and allow the Development Authority time to get their items in. A member of their staff, most specifically their president, Trey Westmoreland's here if you'd like to ask questions of him. Other than that, the city attorney and the county attorneys, Development Authority attorneys have been part of this process.
Any questions?
Yes, do we have any concerns with parking, or we have that all worked out?
No, sir, parking should be handled. It's right now it's a one-person operation,
okay.
but in time will be a 2.5
Oh, okay.
person operation, and parking should not be impacted.
But speaking of parking, I would like to give you an update. I have asked our staff to begin looking at concept plans for that parking lot inside of the facility. It is in horrible shape. I'd like to get a plan to rework that parking, not only for the whole facility. So that's what we're working towards, so thank you, stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
The only other question that I have is, in the report, it said that some of those offices are being used for leisure services and storage. Is
Correct.
leisure services going to get moved out of the building?
Yes,
or-
if, I don't have the, as you continue around that hallway, they won't be removed. They're facility attendants. They're gonna move an office or two down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
so moved.
Second.
Motion is second. We approve the request the lease as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The next is consideration for purchase of a Stephen, if I'm saying that correctly, heavy-duty Cousin pumper truck and loose equipment using the HGAC co-op method. Chief?
Yes, sir. We are just asking for consideration. As you're aware, we are updating our fleet. This is our third purchase with Williams Fire, and Jerry Hawley is here today representing them if you have any questions. We are going to purchase, as we did in the past, for the HGAC, and this has worked well. And this particular engine is going to be for aging frontline for Station 2, Engine 2, and we're looking about a 14 to 16-month build. And then we will, in turn, turn that engine 2 to a reserve engine.
All right. Any questions, Chief?
Yes, sir.
What's the life expectancy of this pumper?
Frontline is 10 to 12 years, and then after that, it's a 10 to 12-year process for a reserve, and after 24 years, you really don't get any credit for it for ISO ratings. You can use the truck as long as it passes all testing, but after that age, it's pretty much obsolete.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. We approve the request as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is a consideration of acceptance of the Bleakley Advisory Group's Newnan Residential Needs Study 2019. You all know we went back over this at our retreat. Are there any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion on the issue.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second that we accept the Bleakley Advisory Group's Newnan Residential Needs Study 2019. Any discussion?
Is this the full report that we received as a thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Any other question? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The next under unfinished business is a public hearing application for alcohol beverage license to transfer license representative for the Little Giant Farmers Market located at 487 Jackson Street. The reason for this is a personnel change. I'm going to open a public hearing at this time and ask if there's anyone here who'd like to come forward to speak to the issue of the alcohol beverage license for the Little Giant Farmer Market on 487 Jackson. Thank you. Representative here, that was gonna be my next question after I close the public hearing. So you are here. Ms. Della, is everything in order? And I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, we adopt or approve the application as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. The next is a presentation to the City of Newnan 2020 application for revitalization area study, approval and a request to authorize the mayor to execute the document on behalf of the city. How are you today, Mr. Cole?
I'm fine, Mr. Mayor,
Good.
and good afternoon. I'm here to present the City of Newnan 2020 application for Revitalization Area Strategy, or RAS, you'll hear to it referred as, approval. The RAS designation provides incentives for communities who implement comprehensive redevelopment activities for targeted areas, and that's an important point to point out there in our city. A local government with RAS designation may receive bonus points on its annual CDBG application and the ability to apply annually for CDBG funds for 3 years. Areas chosen for this program must be located in census block groups with 20% or greater poverty where an urban redevelopment plan has been adopted. And of course, here at the city, we do have an adopted urban redevelopment plan. At this time, the city is requesting the city council, staff I should say, is requesting that city council authorize the mayor to execute this document. Staff will then proceed to submit the RAS application to DCA in advance of the upcoming 2020 Community Development Block Grant application. And I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions, Mr. Cole? Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. We adopt the application and authorize the mayor to sign. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The next status reports, 280 West Washington, 18 Berry Avenue, 33 Hardaway Street, 21 Berry Avenue, 69 M.L. King Jr. Drive.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Council. Not a lot has changed since the last status report. 280 West Washington is making progress, but it's very slow. Their resolution deadline is coming up here in a couple of weeks. They will most likely ask for an extension, but it'll be an agenda item on the next meeting. 18 Berry Avenue and 33 Hardaway Street are sales pending by the current owners, and they still have several weeks left on their deadline. And then 21 Berry Avenue and 69 MLK Junior Drive just went through council some 2 weeks ago, and they're early into their compliance period, and there's no update on those at this time.
Okay. Any questions?
Mayor Brady, the city attorney, and I noticed here, Matt, maybe you can help us, that the resolution deadline will come before your next meeting for 280 West Washington. I don't know if they're in the room, somebody that can speak to it. Have they made a request to you?
No, I was going to cover that. I was going to cover that at the next meeting.
But the deadline will occur before then.
Yeah, I understand. Any questions on the status report? Okay, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, we do have one here that the deadline was gonna, occur before our next meeting on the 23rd. Is there a representative here today from 220 West Washington? Anyone here?
How far away
It's a day off.
a day out?
Is there a motion to extend that deadline 3 days? So moved. Second. Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brady. The next item on the agenda is a consideration of a resolution authorizing the filing of a fiscal year 2020 CDBG application, execution of said application by the mayor on behalf of the city. Ms. Donovan, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. As you know, we're moving forward with our CDBG application. We're down to 6 surveys in the area, so we've been really working hard on that. But as part of our application, we need to get it in a resolution officially adopted by you all to apply, and then authorize the mayor to execute it. So that's our request for today.
So moved.
Second. Motion second. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. The next is consideration of intergovernmental agreement between Coweta County, Georgia, the city of Newnan, Georgia, and Explore Newnan Coweta, Inc. to promote community and encourage tourism and other purposes. We have this before you. Any questions, Mr. Craver?
Mayor Brady, members of the council, this document is before you. It has been vetted through our city attorney's office as well as the county attorney's office. What this intergovernmental agreement does is it puts a 50-year agreement together and clearly establishes the percentage of hotel motel tax funds contributed by both Coweta County and the city of Newnan to explore Newnan Coweta, and then put some requirements for those funds to be shown in our budget, and then audited financial statements from Explore Newnan Coweta to be presented to this body each year.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. We approve as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Under visitors today, we have a request from American Legion of Breast Cancer Education event on the square and I'm changing the date as a result of request from the council, October the 3rd to October the 10th, 2020. So if I have a motion to approve of that date change.
So moved on a date change?
Yes. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second to approve the request on October the 10th, 2020.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. I'm not sure what that was. Okay. So the next item is a request by the Parks of Olmsted HOA for permission to put up the community yard sale banners beginning Sunday, March the 22nd through Saturday, March the 28th at the main entrances with smaller signs within the neighborhood. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion is second to approve the request from Parks of Olmsted. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. That ends our regular agenda this afternoon. I don't believe we've got a motion to go into executive session for anything. Is anyone here in the audience who has come before the council today with an item that's not on the agenda? Opportunity to come forward. Ms. Norma, are you? Ms. Norma?
I just want to invite you personally to come and be our guest when we honor these wonderful people at our 21st Annual Public Safety Appreciation Lunch. It's going to be April the 30th. I know I'm early, but you all get your calendars all stacked up, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you coming. It'll be April the 30th at the fairgrounds. We can promise you a good meal. We will not have a program. We'll just have our blessing and the national anthem and let everybody have a good time and enjoy each other for all those who protect us and serve us in public safety. It's from 11:30 to 1:30. And I hope you will come if you can, because it'll mean a lot to those people who serve you and who serve under you. And it sure will mean a lot to me and my board. And I appreciate very much the opportunity to offer you this invitation. And Cletus, I'll see you behind the serving line.
Pretty good at coming. Ms. Norman, we appreciate that invitation very much. And as always, I think for the past 21 years, we have also offered up a stipend to help defray the cost of feeding our fine men and women that day. I'm not sure exactly what we did last year.
$1,000, what I jotted down here in my notes.
$1,000.
I thought it was 3,000.
Well, why don't we split the difference and go 1,500? I'll make a motion
That'd be
for
great.
1,500.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for a stipend of $1,500 to help defray the cost to feed the men and women that day, public safety in the city and the county. We appreciate so much you doing all that. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. There we go.
Thank you so very
Thank you.
much.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone? Oh, I'm sorry. If you'll come forward, please. State your name for the record.
Good afternoon. My name's Annie Lou Warner, and I live at 29 Dominic Street. And I've been here before with the same problem, but it has come back. It looks like it's reoccurring. And from Tuxedo to Dominic Street, we still have that water flow is overflowing the ditches since it's been raining a lot here recently. And I would have been here before now, but I had a daughter that was ill. She has gotten a transplant and doing somewhat better, so that's why I was able to attend today. But I've been having this problem now for a minute. But the pipes were approved, and we got a cover. But the problem with the cover, the water is not getting to the cover. So what we are in need of now to get those pipes that were first approved, because so it's really getting serious. And every time it rains now, a heavy rain, the ditch overflow, it doesn't get to the cover. So we just having a flood, flood in the yard. And I mean, it need to be something done, immediately about that.
Ms. Warren, that's at 29 Dominic.
29 Dominic, it comes from Tuck City, the other street. It has that ditch, and that ditch was supposed to have been filled with the pipes, and we didn't get the pipes. We got a cover. The cover is better somewhat, but it's not taking care of the problem. It's not the solution.
Okay. Ms. Phillips? Will
We'll give you a report on it.
Send it-
We'll have it ready for the next meeting. How's that?
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, I had talked with him a few times about this.
It's a complicated situation. We'll give you a report on it next meeting.
Okay, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
We got some cost estimates with that report.
Because the pipes have been approved.
Runs through the middle of the subdivision or the neighborhood.
Right. We've been there
Said
before.
it's a level, yeah. We'll give you a report.
Right, thank you. We appreciate you being here today.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna- and
I
as
hope you all
heard him
can
say,
do something.
We'll have a report on our next agenda, which will be 2 weeks from today at 6:30 in the evening.
Do I need to come back?
You're very welcome to be back here,
Okay.
please. We'll
I
be
need to know-
discussing that issue.
I need to know what you are planning to do, because like I say, the matter's getting out of hand.
We appreciate your attendance.
Thank you.
Bringing our attention to the issue.
Okay, thank you much.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do have pictures.
Sharon, we'll have you, we'll put
Share
them in
them
the report.
with Mr. Phillips, he'll get them in the
Okay.
report. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
all right.
Sure. Anyone else? Council members? Anyone here?
I want to compliment Mr. Phillips on his proactiveness on this.
Thank you, sir. Got great staff, that's what it is.
Yes, I know, and staff. So thank you for
Thank you for your support.
staying up with this.
I have nothing.
I just want to thank the planning staff. They've been working very hard lately on getting the CDBG together. Actually, for a number of years, have been working on this. And recently, they have really done a great job of trying to get these pieces together, talking to neighborhood members. People have been very complimentary of them coming through the neighborhood and trying to make this application work. So thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Good.
Good?
Yep.
Okay, have one piece of paper for you to sign.
All right, I'll stick around.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion is second. Is there a second? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. We're adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.